What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of the Yamcast. Today we're going to be diving into a bit of news. We've got some news out of Chicago and then also a follow-up to the FTR 1200 Carbon. Spoiler alert, it is what we predicted. And then we're going to be calling in, or actually our Discord boys are going to be calling in, we're going to be calling them, they'll be calling us in, we're answering some questions, and then at the end of it, we're going to be going over some Craigslist bikes and some funny comments. Let's get into it.
All right, so leading into our first story this week is our recap. All right, so a follow-up to our story from last week. We had watched that 12-second teaser trailer that Indian put out about their new FTR Carbon, which they said is based on the FTR 750. And today we actually have the specs here. And MCN says the carbon fiber race replica Indian turned up to 11 with the latest FTR 1200. Turned it up to 11. I really don't feel that way.
Why don't we take a look at the specs and see how far up to 11 they went? Oh, wait. It's the same dang bike.
It really is.
It's the same thing. They just put a couple nice little things on it here and there.
Yeah, what they've done is they've taken their FTR platform and they've replaced all of the bodywork with carbon fiber. And then they increased the price by $2,000. We actually Googled it a little earlier, and the base FTR comes in at $13,499. Then the FTR 1200S comes in at $15,499, and now our Carbon is $16,999.
Yeah.
You're paying $1,500. Is that what the math on that? $1,500 for carbon fiber parts.
Yeah.
That's it.
Race replica. Race ready. What race? Flat tracking? You can't take this to flat track. It's too heavy. The 750 is a totally different bike.
That is the crazy thing, is they said it's based on the 750, but it just kind of looks like it a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you know anything about it, it's just not the same bike.
It would be like, this is like, you know, when Honda used to make the, I think it was the RC40s with the V4s, if I remember correctly. It'd be like saying that and the VFR 800 are like the same and like race replicas.
They're really
they're
not.
Completely different bikes. I think there's a big difference whenever you look at something like the R6 versus bikes that are being raced in super sport categories, where it's like, oh yeah, like that is the race bike, you know, it just has headlights on it. This is not really a race replica. But I don't know, maybe Indian's customer base is, you know, wanting something like this. Someone high up in Indian thought this was a good idea.
Here's the thing, though. What's stopping you from just selling this carbon fiber bodywork to a customer as opposed to having them buy another Indian?
It does feel like it should be an accessory package, right? Instead of a whole other model.
Because it's still got the same Brembos. The Acra system looks a little nicer. I think the cans look a little bit nicer on this. But it kind of feels like the bodywork, you should just be able to buy it and slap it on your existing Indian.
Yeah, and just to be triple sure, this did not change suspension components, brakes, even tires fitted to it, right?
It's all the same. So mechanically, nothing has changed about the new model.
Love hearing that.
So it's powered by the 1203cc V-twin from the standard FTR.
Making the same 120 some horsepower, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same bike with some fancy bits and bobs.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You know, it may sound like we're just ripping on the FTR and we're just having fun with it and just, you know, throwing it through the ringer. But, you know, when you look at something like what Ducati does with their Scrambler line and you want to say, oh, but Yammie, Speights, the Ducati is doing the same thing with the Scrambler. They just take their same model and kind of tweak it here and there. If you look at each Scrambler lineup, and I'm not saying just because I own one, if you look at each Scrambler lineup, they're all pretty different from each other, right? Like you have the Scrambler Full Throttle. It has a bigger engine than the other Scrambler. You have the Scrambler Icon, the regular one. You have the Desert Sled with like all the different changes for off-roading. So if Indian had done something closer to that, I would be excited. Like, cool, they're taking this platform and changing it up. They made an adventure version, this and that. But all they're doing is doing the very typical like American bike maker thing and just sprinkling on a couple parts and then charging a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, if not to bring up Harley again, but I feel like we need to talk about the Sportsters because they're a bike that feels more like the Scrambler line.
Yeah.
You know, you got your 883, you've got your Iron 1200, you've got your Roadster, you've got your 48, you've got all of
really
these different bikes. Each one, it's not just does it have mids, does it have forwards, it's does it have dual discs, does it have inverted front forks, does it have a standard cruiser tire or a fat cruiser tire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's legitimate differences, and yet they all hover at about the same price.
Yeah.
So you kind of get to pick and mix what you want.
Yeah.
That's not what this is. This is just pay another $1,500, get your carbon fiber.
Yeah. A carbon fiber bike that I'm thinking of, for example, was when BMW released the HP4 Race,
Mm-hmm.
right? With that whole carbon fiber frame. That was nuts. You know what I mean? Like, that's like a true, like, limited edition, race-ready, race replica bike.
Yeah.
That is just really bespoke. Maybe we're getting upset about this because they called it like a new thing. It's a carbon, and maybe we had high hopes for it. But at the same time, I'm not really surprised that they did this.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not surprised either, but I am a bit disappointed. I think I am.
And I'm also vindicated that we called it perfectly.
We did call it perfectly, yeah. But I do feel just disappointed because this platform has a lot of potential. It's just too expensive.
Yeah.
You know, I really do think they need to look at making a FTR 60. Like they have the Scout and the Scout 60.
Mm-hmm.
If they put the 5-speed transmission 1000cc engine in there, sure, sell it for another $2 or $3 grand off the asking price,
Mm-hmm.
and get some budget parts in there. But I really think that the Indian FTR is just so underutilized and so under-executed upon.
Yeah.
You know, they look stunning. They look stunning, but I still don't feel like I need to run out and buy one.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, so now that we've mercilessly bashed the FTR's head in, what is our next news article for today?
So our next news article is from my hometown, Chicago, Illinois, and
boy.
we have a news video here, which might take a second to buffer, of South Loop residents are really pissed off with this big groups like stunt ride groups, and then just blowing down Michigan Avenue.
If you wait for it. I think it's in another clip. In one of these clips, you just see this guy just ripping a fat nooner just right through the frame. So yeah, these people are stunting. They're doing that kind of ride. What I'm amazed by is how enormous this group ride is.
This is gigantic.
Yeah, it's truly shocking how many people are in this ride.
Yeah, and it's there. I tried to get into, one of the Discord boys provided us the Facebook group that this ride is planned through. I tried to get in and I couldn't, but I can't imagine this is anything other than let's just go out, let's be dicks for an hour and just see who gets arrested.
I mean, look at that.
Because this goes beyond, you know, your highway stunt crew.
Yeah.
You know, like you see those massive stunt rides on the highway.
I think those are kind of not great either. You know what I mean? Like, even if you wanted to do a respectable big stunt group ride, I still think it's not a great idea, honestly.
No.
Like, you shouldn't be getting 50 people together and ripping wheelies down the highway.
No.
Why are we doing that? You know what I mean?
And this is way more than 50 people. This is like
Yeah.
a massive parade. And knowing that this is on Michigan Avenue is just frightening to me because people drive down Michigan Avenue like this. So,
Yeah.
you know, why would you do that? And you know, of course, this is doing nothing but making everyone in Chicago hate motorcyclists.
I think beyond, because this is getting attention beyond just Chicago, and I know that there's been a couple documentaries even on Vice talking about people doing these big stunt rides and doing wheelies down their main town. And I really think, and you know, you guys can disagree with me if you want, but I really think it does a disservice to motorcyclists to have this featured like this. Like, you got to remember, most people are not really as in tune with riding as we are, not in tune to the culture, knows that there's different types of motorcyclists. You know, there's probably people who just see this and they're like, that's a bunch of douchebags back at it once again. You know what I mean? And I think we need to do a better job of making sure that, you know, we all are giving the best image possible out in the world.
Yeah, it's, you know, everybody who gets on a motorcycle is an ambassador for motorcycling. You might not have the platform of an Ari Henning. You might not be Valentino Rossi.
You might not be Yammie Noob.
I just... You need to understand that every time you get on a bike, everybody's going to look at you. And you want to make sure that they're looking at you because they're like, oh, that's a motorcyclist who's acting like a normal human being.
I would rather they just don't even notice you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just a dude in traffic. You know what I mean? Like, it's totally normal. You're not weaving in and out. You're not doing, 300 people strong group rides like this. I think it's super annoying. And I also think it's annoying whenever guys like this who do these kinds of rides, they jump back in like on the comments and they're just like, you don't understand the lifestyle. You don't understand why we ride. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And I hate the reason that you're doing this. I just think that there's virtually no redeeming quality to doing this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this and people are weaving through oncoming traffic.
Running red lights and stuff. And I know what you guys are going to say. I think that the people who are in favor of this might say, oh, but we've done big group rides and everybody follows the rules and everything's safe. Yeah, sure, maybe your group ride is, but I can think of at least 5 others that I've personally seen and been to where it's not like that at all, and it was super sketchy. So I don't do it. I think for me, 5 to 6 people at the very most in any group ride, honestly. Yeah. I just don't like any more than that.
I've done some rides with some VFW chapters around here, and they actually have, because, it's a bunch of ex-military folks, they can get in a line and follow an order really, really well. And it makes it a lot safer because they're like, all right, we're going to have 50 bikes. We're going to have police escorts. You're going to ride like a normal human being, or we're going to slap you upside the head and send you home.
Yeah.
Sure, you can do these big rides, but they're just not that fun. I did the parade for Rot Rally last year, and that was the most excruciating 90-minute motorcycling endeavor that I've ever done.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
Because you're just working the clutch the whole time.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure it was hot and you're just miserable.
Yeah. You're just crawling down streets and it's not fun. Just go out with a couple of your friends and ride.
Like a normal human.
Yeah, like a normal human. Or if you want to be like a Grom human, those people do stunts, but somehow I never see them on the internet being in this.
Yeah, I don't know. So I think the official Yammie position on this is hard pass on the 300-man stunt rides, running red lights, and doing dumb wheelies and stuff. There's a time and a place for it, guys. I just don't think that there's any redeeming quality to this.
No.
Yeah. All right, with that, we're moving on to our call-in section. Alrighty, guys, we're now jumping into the call-in section of our podcast. If you want the chance to call in, be sure to go to yammynoob.co and sign up and join up on our Discord server. You might be featured on today's show, and we'll now be taking calls from our lovely members. From our lovely members. I just want to do some ASMR. Now you can't come near that at all because it's like not Corona approved. That was super gross, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I just really wanted to do that. Really bad. The West guy. I recognized it was a UK number from the plus 44. How's it going?
Not too bad. How about you?
Doing well, man. What is it, like 11:32 over there right now? Or 12:32?
11:32, yeah, in the 8.
Yeah, staying up late for the podcast. I appreciate it, man.
I've been waiting for ages, but I was just wondering if my phone will be able to do it and if my phone bill will be happy with me afterwards.
Yeah, hopefully this doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. So what's up? What can we do for you?
Well, I've been searching on the internet for quite a while because I'm planning on getting a new bike sometime within the next year or two. I've not really seen an accurate description on what to do in the braking period. I was wondering if you have a better knowledge on it.
So breaking a bike in. So my knowledge on it and my theory around it is reflected because of an Ari Henning video I saw about breaking in a bike. And basically, you can just do whatever you want. I know it sounds wrong, but from everything I've read and I've seen, bikes are pretty much good to go from the factory, and you don't really need to kind of baby them or, be really gentle with them. Speights, what do you think?
So the way that I break a bike in is I'm gentle for the first 100 miles just because I'm trying to learn the motorcycle, And then from there, what I do is I just basically slowly step up what I put the engine through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm never just turn it on, take it straight to the moon like you do with your track bike.
Yeah.
But, you know, I give it about 500 miles till that first oil change to slowly work the engine through its paces. I'll, you know, every 100 miles I'll add another piece of, you know, abuse. Instead of going to, you know, 5,000 RPM before shifting, I'll take it to 7,000 really fast kind of thing.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
you get into a relationship with the bike and you don't immediately show what monster you are to them. You kind of let it over time, you let them move in with you, and then you just start, beating them to death.
It's
okay,
like
I get
boiling
it.
a frog for me.
Oh, God, okay. Well, these are some dark analogies today. Holy crap. Jesus. It's very dark.
Oh,
So yeah, just boil your frog alive, the West guy. Beat your partner to death, I guess. That's what we're doing today. We just got demonetized so bad. So I mean, I remember when we bought the Triumph Street Triple, I took it out from the lot, and I think the first thing I did was I revved it out to like $8,000 or $9,000 from like, it was brand spanking new. So it's still running fine. It's doing good. So I would say don't worry too much about it.
Fair enough. I mean, me in relationships with bike, I mean, everyone remembers my first accident on my bike. I picked it up from the dealership, and it was a bit wet outside, as it usually is in Great Britain. I hit a Mano cover and low-sided it after about 3 minutes.
Oh, no.
That's my luck with it.
Damn.
But other than that, it's been all right. Good little 125.
Are you on the A1 license?
Technically, I'm on the CBT license. Like, if I do my A1 license, it means I don't have to put on learner plates, which should the big red L's on them. But the thing with the CBT is basically exactly the same as the A2 license. It just means you have to have L plates on it, and you have to retake it every 2 years. But other than that, it's all right.
It always blows my mind how much bureaucratic kind of loopholes you guys have to, or bureaucratic hoops you have to jump through, and all the cost and time that it takes just to be able to get the bike you want. I think, as much as I think it makes sense, I think in America, they just would not fly.
Yeah, no. If they tried to give you staged licenses here, people would riot.
Yeah. I mean, people are rioting because they can't go get a haircut right now. So, yeah, I think Americans are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's no different over here. I mean, some people hate the license scheme, but in my opinion, it just saves a 17-year-old buying an R1 and basically sending it into the post office.
I think it is sensible. I mean, it objectively makes sense. I think we have an idea here where it's like, people will do their best and they'll make good choices. I'm like, well, they don't always do that, do they? I mean, time and time again, you see that people make really bad choices. So, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially in London, we have loads of gangs that use mopeds.
Yes.
So it's better having them having a 50cc hairdryer with wheels than a 500, 700, or maybe Hayabusa to get away from the cops with. So that's that.
Yeah.
I've still yet to see a police chase with a Hayabusa involved, so keeping an eye out for that.
I think you could get away on a big long straight, but then, I imagine going through the tight streets of London on a Busa would probably be an exercise in sadomasochism, for sure.
No, you get stuck between the London bus trying to lane.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't leave you any room.
You just clog right up, it just goes thump, just gets stuck in there between the two buses.
Yeah, and then you're just stuck enjoying London, really, which is just basically a hot sauna, and you just hear people calling you a C word all the time, but rather not swear.
Yeah. All right, man, did you have anything else for us? All right, well, I'll catch you on the Discord. Thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate it.
That's all right. See you later.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Staying up late for us. I love it.
That's some dedication right there.
Yeah, we have a surprising amount of Europeans on the Discord.
Yeah, we do.
Even though, they'll chime in, they'll be like, well, we can't win a bike, but, it's nice being on here.
It is really strange to hear people talk about how, they have those Moto Gangs in London on
Dude, they really do.
50cc.
Have you seen the videos?
Yeah, they're insane.
They roll right up, and one of them will jump off and point a knife at you and then get you off the bike, and that's it. Yeah, It's nuts. Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole other world, I guess.
Yeah. That's one thing. We got to worry about different things here. You got to worry about crazies and pickups with guns, but usually not Moped Gangs. All right, let's see who we got here. Moto Fan, you are on. What's up, dude?
Hello, Yam. How you doing this week?
Good, good. You're back once again.
So it would seem.
In the sunken place with us here.
Oh, man. All right. Well, you know the deal. I got questions.
Don't sound too excited, man. You know what? I gotta ask you to tone it down, okay? People are gonna think I paid you to get on this show.
Nah, it's just, you know, I like interacting with one of my favorite YouTubers. I'm gonna take the chance if I get it, you know?
Yeah. All right. What can we do for you?
All right. So, first and foremost, not going to spoil this for anyone not in the Discord, but the Discord red bike, are you going to make that publicly known to your YouTube channel or no?
Yeah, May 15th is going to be the day that we make it known to the whole world. That's what you asked, right? If we're going to make it known?
All right. Fantastic. Okay. Next question. What is your opinion on the viability of the upcoming Kawasaki ZX25R? And do you think it is worth any sort of attempt at importing?
So I don't know what it would look like to import the bike over, but I will tell you this. I think that there's a lot of hoopla, I guess is the right word, for the comment sections on those videos. People like super stoked. They'll be like, Kawasaki, bring it over here. We'll buy it. It'll be great. I don't think anybody would really buy it over here, honestly. I think you'd have a couple, as we call them on Discord, small bike fetishists that would buy it and appreciate and enjoy it. But then beyond that, I think the scope of that bike is really limited, because I bet you if they brought it here to America, it'd probably cost, you know, $7,000-8,000 maybe for a 250, and I think a lot of guys would be like, that doesn't make any sense, you know. As much, I think it's a super cool bike, but I don't think most Americans would be that interested in it personally.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It would be sort of a niche market, because anyone who's ever ridden the old, like, have you ever gotten a chance to ride the old MC22 Hondas from like way back in the late 80s?
No, I really wish. The only small displacement four cell I've ever run was an RVF 400 in Australia a few years back, but never the super tiny 250s from that era as well. No.
All right, so a little bit of story time from my perspective. I was home on leave after doing a deployment, and I got to meet one of the control riders there. Had one along with his RSB4 factory.
Awesome.
Which obviously I was kind of salivating over the RSB4 because one, I had never seen it, and two, oh my goodness, that exhaust sound! I can never get over it.
The V4 is truly godlike. Yeah.
I saw this other bike that he had on the side of it, and I could not for the life of me figure out what it was. So I talked to him, figured out that it was an '89, MC22. Apparently, this guy had gone off the deep end, and I mean literally, the dude had taken it completely apart, put in oversized valves, like complete port and polished cylinder heads, like all the top end were forged internals, like custom bit everything. This thing was making close to 60 horsepower at like 18,000 RPM. The thing was a screamer.
Yeah.
And it's nuts being able to hear that, not only from the perspective of the rider, but also the perspective of someone passing by, because I got lucky enough to ride it once, and they are very, very light. I'd honestly have to say that if I knew the means and I had the money, I would absolutely jump on the chance to import a ZX25, even if I could only have it as a track bike.
Yeah, I definitely want to try it out. I think seeing a little 250 zing up to 18,000 RPMs would be pretty awesome. Thanks for sharing that story. I really appreciate it. And if you do end up owning or importing a ZX25, please let us know in the Discord. That would be really cool. Just to let you know, we've been on this call for a little bit, so I'm going to jump over to someone else, but I really do appreciate you calling, Moto Fan. It's always nice to hear from you, and thanks for the story, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, take care, man. I'll talk to you soon.
See you, man. Bye-bye.
One of the cool things about those little bikes, and this is something that I see it all the time, is people like, I want to import that really bad. But I think now that 400s are starting to become more viable in the States, the bike that I would love to see the most is the Honda Super 4. The Honda Super 4, for those of y'all who don't know, is just this little itty-bitty inline 4 with VTEC that it's super cool. And they made a special one that's called like I'm going to butcher it because I'm pretty sure it's Spanish, Beldor, B-E-L, new word D''OR, like something gold.
Something of gold.
And it looks like a katana, but, built by Honda, so it's going to last forever.
Yeah. That RVF I rode in Australia is one of the coolest bikes I've. I mean, I still lust after them. They're so cool. They sound so cool. It's like your VFR, but in baby form.
Yeah.
It's so neat. It's a really, really cool bike. Let's see if we can get another caller on the horn. Alrighty, guys. Bit of a slow day on the calls today. Unfortunately, it seems like our Discord boys are hanging out in the background a little bit. But let's move on to our Craigslist bikes and our funny comments. Alrighty, guys. We picked out some of our favorite comments from the week, and now we're going to read them and react to them. Speights, will you read us the first comment, please?
Our first one comes from Aaron Weirwhile. It's like y'all are making videos to answer the questions. I'm currently thinking about getting my... All right, let's try that one again.
Yeah.
Our first comment today comes from Aaron Weirwhile. It's like y'all are making videos to answer all the questions I'm having currently about getting my first bike. Great material, keep it up.
Oof, love to hear that. Nice wholesome comment. That was from our video we did about 300 cc's versus 650 cc's, which many people have received very positively. So thank you for that. We put in a lot of effort for that. Spike put in a 17-hour day on that one to knock it out when we needed to. So we're going to structure things differently going forward. But I think it was a pretty successful first high-effort video.
Yeah. I always love seeing these where we release a video and somebody's like, I was literally just thinking about that like earlier today, and then boom, it shows up on the phone. I'm always like, yeah. We know exactly what you want.
Uh-huh. And we spoon feed it right into your little mouth. You just eat it right up, don't you? You just love it. We did that. I saw some comments on that for the MT-07 versus MT-09 video as well. People were like, oh, I was thinking just about this. And then, God forbid, I said anything bad about the MT-09. They might be even worse than the Busa boys. Those
Really?
MT-09, yeah, they're really... I got so many DMs on Instagram. God, it was annoying. All right. Our next one comes from Joe Griffith, who says... Man, that stopwatch and small displacement bike shootouts and go buy the bike comment hit a little too hard. And that was from your video from earlier today, right?
Yes, I believe that was from our mistakes video. I really do believe, because I did that for a long time. I was like, R3, Ninja 300. And then I was like, okay, here's some cruisers to look at. You really don't know what you're going to get until you actually go get on a bike.
Yeah.
The YouTube we can tell you what to look for, but we can't tell you this is what you need and here's why.
And what you're going to like, you could find that you sit on an R3 and you just don't like the way it feels. And then you sit on a cruiser and you're like, oh, this is what I'm thinking of. This is what feels cool to me, So, again, there's only so much we can say. We have our own... biases and opinions on things, but at the end of the day, at some point, you gotta just pull the trigger. As much as I want you to keep watching my videos, but at some point, you gotta go and just get the bike. And then, it's kind of funny, I think that after I started actually riding, my tastes in videos for motorcycling changed a lot.
Yes.
Right? Where I feel like before I started riding, I used to watch tons of moto vlogs because I just wanted to see what it was like. I just wanted to see, how's it going to be like when I'm on the bike and this and that. And once I was able to ride, I didn't really watch that many moto vlogs anymore, honestly.
Yeah, you start watching stuff like On Two Wheels, where you hear people talking about bikes, but they're just looking at it.
Yeah.
The riding isn't the part of the video that you're there for.
Yeah, you're there for the commentary on a specific bike or someone's take on something or maybe a mechanical thing on another bike. Yeah, it kind of changes over time. Yeah. So, Spite, read us our next comment here because I think you're going to like this one.
Our next one, this has got to be a Discord boy here.
I'm pretty sure I recognize that name, and I think it is a Discord boy, yeah.
So this is Casey Jones. Oh, Spite, you sweet, sweet boy. You could have just bought an older Sportster for $2,500 and made the beautiful little scrambler you always wanted. Yeah, I could have. And then I got the DRZ. But here's the thing. For specifically the Sportsters, I wanted to spend a little bit more and get a fuel-injected Sportster, which means 07 or newer, because you can pop the Fuel Pack 3 on there and just tune it right there. It's a really easy system to use. It's even easier than any power commander you've ever put on a bike. You literally just plug it into one port and it's done.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
And it goes so fast. And That's what I was looking for. But the problem is those bikes stop around $4,000 to $5,000. So, because Sportsters actually kind of hold their value. I don't know if people have overinflated assumptions about the value of the motorcycle or whether people actually want to buy them at $5,000.
What's strange to me is they've made so many of those. It's weird that they're still worth that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I see two kinds of Sportsters online. The one where the guy got it and flipped it 2 weeks later because he's like, this is a girl's bike. Or you get the guy who has had the Sportster and put, a 500,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
And is like, I am officially done with this motorcycle because the wheels are falling off.
Yeah. Do you still think you're going to do a Sportster Scrambler thing one day?
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to because they look so nice. And I'll put a little picture of some of the ones that I've kind of modeled my idea of the Sportster around. And they look like a dirt bike with a big badass V-twin in it.
Yeah.
And these, high pipes that come out to the side. It's just, they look so nice, and I love the Sportster platform. I really do. So I'd love to own one. I'm not sure it would be a forever bike, but
who knows? Maybe we'll have one in the Yammie Noob HQ one day that we can play around with.
That would be great.
Yeah, maybe a new giveaway one day. Who knows? Hint, hint.
Let's take the next one here.
All right, so Thomas the Troll actually put a really wholesome comment on here. He says, quote, "On two wheels production quality here. Good job, Yammie." And it's funny you mentioned that, Thomas the Troll, because for the episode you're talking about, the 300 versus 600cc episode we did, we actually used as a reference point the SV versus FZ video that Ari and Zach did. And that's a trick I learned back when I used to make music, is that while you're building out your track, just put a reference track right underneath to see, okay, this is when this part changes, this is when I can do this is how this mix sounds. So it might seem unoriginal, but it actually helps you to make a lot better stuff. And I'm pretty excited about the stuff we're going to make in the future. So kind of a nice comment there, yeah?
Yeah, agreed. It's always good to see people are liking what we're doing, because that was a big day.
Yeah.
We put a lot of work into that.
Yeah.
And, it's a little bit of vindication.
Yeah, I did like how, as we were filming it, I was even mentioning to you, I was like, oh, you kind of sound like Lemmy or Spurge from Revzilla here. And then I saw some comments being like, Speights sounds like Lemmy or Spurge from Revzilla. So I think it's maybe your cadence or something when you're saying some of those lines where you kind of sound like Spurge or Lemmy. I think some of the adjectives you use too, like, you're like, this bike can boogie. I'm like, okay. Yeah. All right, what do we got next?
Our next comment, oh boy, this is a long one.
This is a very strange one that I pulled.
Okay.
You want to read it?
Sure, here we go. Nick Strait says, I get it, I'm doing it all wrong, I just need to ride. Here's the problem, I've got $4,000 or $4,500 and a dream. That dream is to get my son back from his mother, who legally kidnapped him and took him to Florida from Kansas. Lawyer, $4,500. Motorcycle, $4,500. My car is going bad, and I have no job because all this awesomeness that's happening. Advice, please. Wow, that's a situation.
Yeah, whole situation here on this comment. Nick, I really wish I could give you some advice here, but I just don't know, man. I just don't know what you should do here. Part of me wants you to just take the $4,500, buy a bike, and move to Canada or something. I don't know why your mother kidnapped your child. I don't know, man. That sounds crazy and probably out of the wheelhouse of this channel. But I thought it was a very odd comment. I've never seen any comment quite like that, so I had to include it. Yeah.
I got a feeling this was on the mistakes video when I again said that you got to stop watching the videos. And again, I get that it's a vicarious thing, and I do still wholeheartedly believe you should get out there and ride, but it's a situation.
Yeah. Alrighty, for the last comment of the day, thought you would like this one, Speights. William Brown says, folks, the situation is worse than we originally thought. I thought it was only one pair of jeans that were ripped. This man's whole wardrobe needs to be replaced. I suggest a GoFundMe for new jeans and a knee board or knee pads for our Uncle Spite. Side note, please make the picture shown on screen larger. It is hard to see the wretched Craigslist bike at times. Okay, that is good constructive criticism, but also the first comment is objectively hilarious.
Oh man, I buy all my jeans at the same time. I was actually contemplating buying another 4 pairs because they'll get me another 5 years. So
That's great.
I wore these jeans all the way through college.
A man of value, you know? You bought the jeans, you're like, they cover my legs, they're doing their job.
I've just absolutely squeezed every penny out of these. And literally, as I was putting these on today, I tore another hole in this leg. So
I want to do the math really quick. How long have you had those?
These I've had for 5 years.
What'd you pay for them?
About $50 a pair. Busting out the calculator.
I'm going to figure this out. Those jeans cost you 11 cents per day to wear.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Not a bad marginal cost per use there. Yeah. All right, let's move on to some wretched motorcycles.
So our first wretched motorcycle for today is... This is interesting to me. This is a VTX 1300S with a 2-seater sidecar object attached to it. It's
radical.
Yeah, and I was thumbing through the pictures earlier if they want to load for us. Strange. There's not a lot of detail, but you see a lot of things. I mean, it looks like it's got a, soft top on there. It almost looks like they took...
Why do those wheels look like they came off like a JDM S13 Sylvia?
I was gonna say it looks like they pulled it off of like this is some sort of like Mercedes squished down with an old weird tire on it. And then, they're showing some like old use case stuff.
This could be you if you lost control of your life.
It's got a trunk in there because of course it does. I mean, it literally looks like a little car on the side of this VTX.
It's actually really cute, honestly. It's a really cute little object.
Yeah, and they don't spend any time on the actual motorcycle part of this car, trike, vehicle. But,
I guess when you put a sidecar on a bike, does it become a trike? I mean, technically, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think a sidecar is inherently different because you've got 2 in line and then one out here, one wheel out here.
Yeah.
Whereas trike is either 2 up front, 1 in the back, or 1 in the front, 2 in the back.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the geometry's different on them, yeah.
But, I mean, this is like completely full-on execution right here. They put a lot of work into this thing.
My favorite thing about sidecars is that you can lean them over and then have them just hang on the side.
Yup.
That always looked really sketch to me.
There's a lot of stuff going on here.
Sidecar DVD player and speakers is the first thing my eyes went to. Love that.
Why is it not novel enough that you're in a sidecar that you need to put a DVD player in it?
LED light undercarriage of sidecar and around bike. Because obviously they're not extra enough. Yeah. What do they want for this thing, by the way? Let's take a look.
They want $8,550. That's nothing.
Honestly, that's pretty cheap. Normally, these things on Craigslist like 20 G's, 25 G's. I know what I got. OBO. But I think that's a decently fair price for all the metal and wheel and just object you're getting.
And it's got only 40,000 miles on it. These VTXs last forever.
Yeah.
The VTX is an indestructible motorcycle. I think it's one of the most bulletproof engines that's ever been built.
Yeah, because it's a relatively simple engine and it's from Honda, so they're just like, we got this.
Yeah.
We're going to make this just fine, don't worry.
I like how it's called the Old Broad.
Yeah. I do love that.
This is an interesting car, vehicle, motorcycle amalgamation. Because the sidecar literally looks like a side car just shrunk down. Mm-hmm. But
I like the sidecar has like a hood or a roof. Yeah, a roof. Because normally it's just like an open air situation, but I think you can remove the roof as well, so it's a bit of a convertible thing.
I mean, they 10 out of 10 for execution on this, 100%. Mm-hmm. They really did a good job with it.
Yeah, it's nicely maintained. It looks like from the pictures, just like maybe like an older couple just having fun with their toy. It looks like just like a nice old thing that they have. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for wholesomeness. It's just a goofy little sidecar thing. It's kind of fun.
Agreed. If that's your thing, this looks like a great place to get into it.
I have a feeling the next one's not gonna be like this.
No,
they normally are. Yeah.
Our next one is this. It is just a 2007 dirt bike
for $150.
Let's take a look. We got the one picture because of course we do.
Come on, look at that thing. It has to be a pit bike, right? That looks really small.
there's just so much to unpack here, but the front fork is rusted out and bent. The handlebars are off your kid's Huffy. And then just like what's going on with the exhaust and all of that whole the frame, there's no seat, there's no the gas tank's like held on with zip ties.
Does the engine have a head? Or
I think it's like
it looks like there's nothing there.
Yeah, there might not be.
Yeah.
But there's very few words.
85cc, good condition. Is it?
Is it really?
Is it good condition? Doesn't seem like it.
Just need the body frame.
I have the seat. This to me feels like someone found this in a junkyard and then is just trying to flip it for nothing. You know what I mean? Like it looks like they just found this in a trash heap and they're like, well, maybe I can sell it if someone doesn't know what it is. But, I mean, how do you even know it's a 2007?
Maybe there's a VIN on it, but do pit bikes even have like vehicle identification numbers? Do they need them?
Surely they must, right? Or no, because they're not road legal.
Yeah.
They don't get titled, do they?
Like
I've never bought a little bike
if
like
you
that.
get like one of those little kid bikes, like the
50cc
tiny little 50cc kid bikes, do they have VINs? I don't know. I
have no idea. I can't imagine having a title for a 50cc pit bike.
Yeah.
That seems weird, you know?
In that sense, it's like, where does it stop? Do you have to get that for the little like 4-wheel car that your kid drives around in the lawn on Saturday?
Yeah, I would love someone to put that up and they're like, clean title, OBO. I know what I got. Yeah, this looks like Mad Max bike, like caught fire and then someone tried to resell it or something. It's in super rough shape. I think this isn't even worth for parts. You know, like it looks like everything's on it. It's pretty banged up.
What parts would you even want? Like, okay, the only thing I see of any value to me is the front fender.
Maybe the wheels?
Look at how rusted they are, though. Those look like bicycle wheels.
Yeah, they're pretty rusted. And also, like, you can tell it's been sitting for forever because one half of the wheel is super rusted and the other half isn't. So this might have been, like, under, like, dirt or something. Just, like, shoved
sunk
somewhere.
down.
Yeah.
This is just garbage.
It
Throw it out.
It is just garbage, yeah. Like, it's just not worth anything and just throw it away. Yeah. 0 out of 10. Just needs the body frame. That means nothing.
Yeah.
Literally means nothing.
Let's get a little bit of a palate cleanser with bike number 3.
Ooh.
Yeah, right?
Honda Hawk. All right. Check out this little gem.
It looks like it's in great shape.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean,
for this type of bike, these are normally so neglected and so beat up, you know, and like that just no one cares about them. But this looks like someone actually cared about it.
Looks like a little 45-degree V-twin. Mm-hmm. They've got that's a Corbin seat on there right there.
Got the luggage rack.
The luggage rack. I mean, this thing looks like it's basically bone stock.
Yeah.
You know? This is actually...
Go back one?
Yep.
No, chain drive. I thought it was shaft drive for a second.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a shaft with all of that, this whole thing right here.
I thought it would be a shaft, but it's a chain.
I mean, this is a really unique looking bike. I actually didn't know that Honda made... I know they made the Nighthawk, but I didn't know they made something like this.
And I'm probably going to be reamed in the comments for this, but I don't know the differences between a Honda Nighthawk and a Hawk. What is...
I don't know enough to be able to say, to be honest, but it looks almost like an SV650.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 647 cc's, I guess.
That's almost exactly the same displacement as the SV. What the hell is this bike?
Let's do a Google.
Yeah, let's do a Google so we look like we know what we're talking about.
Honda Hawk.
Just gotta stay one step ahead of your audience, guys. That's the trick here.
This is the GT NT 650.
It literally looks like an SV 650.
It really does, doesn't it?
When was it released?
1988 to 1991. But let's read this. So the Honda Hawk GT NT 650 motorcycle was designated as model RC31 and was designed by Toshiaki Kishi. Toshiaki Kishi. It was one of the first modern naked bikes along with the Yamaha SRX, which were both released several years before the Ducati Monster, the 1993 Monster, and eventually the SV650.
How did I miss this bike in my video?
The Hawk GT was often described as a cult bike.
I've never heard. Is this not just a Nighthawk? What is the difference? That's what I'm curious about, because like I feel like we're mixing them up.
Honda Nighthawk. Nighthawk 650 was earlier on,
and it was a CB.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the
this is a different
RC31.
Yeah.
This is the CB, so it's a completely
totally
different line.
lineage. Okay.
So
that's crazy that they called one the Nighthawk and then the Hawk, and they're totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
But this is going back to our original bike here. I mean,
a super pristine example.
Yeah, and of course, when you start getting into some of the neater, smaller details here, it does fall apart on closer inspection. There's some gunk in there.
What year is this? An '89?
This is a 1989. So it's to be expected.
31 years old. Yeah.
But that is a very unique motorcycle that neither of us had ever heard of.
Yeah. I'm shocked I missed this somehow in my naked bike video, because I thought I'd researched every single bike. But this is really like a precursor to a lot of them.
And our description here, a completely stock Honda Hawk GT NT650 from 1989. Price $2,000. I'm the second owner, and it came to me with a little over 50,000 miles on it.
Wow.
How many miles? Does he say how many it's got?
I've owned it for about 5 to 6 years and have ridden it less than 500 miles. So he just kind of kept it and just maintained it and restored it. This bike is completely 100% stock except for the protective custom sliders and the wind guard, which is terrific and can be easily removed. Wow. That's insane. Belongs in a museum or something. It's probably, weirdly enough, I was going to say it's not significant enough, but it kind of is from what the Wikipedia was saying. It's got a cult following, and it's like a precursor to a lot of naked bikes.
And it only ran for 3 years. So
Nighthawk GT NT650, huh?
What a unique motorcycle.
Yeah. And I'm trying to see there. Is that single-sided swing arm?
Yeah.
Of course it is. Honda.
Because it's a Honda.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get a... Yep, definitely a single-sided swing arm right there.
That's insane.
But how would you... Okay, so look, you've got the single-sided swing arm, but you don't have the hole for a stand unless that's a cover.
It's probably a cover. Because otherwise you can't service it unless it has a center stand.
Oh, it's got a center stand, yeah.
Boom.
And there's a hole right there, so
okay.
you'd be all right.
Yeah.
But this is cool.
Yeah, really neat bike.
And I know Hilgathor, I believe, was posting this up earlier. Somebody posted it in the bike purchase channel. You're going to have a lot of BS to deal with carburetors and stuff like that. But if it just starts up for you and he's done all the maintenance, I don't see a problem with it, really.
Yeah, as annoying as carbs can be, when maintained correctly, they work fine.
Yeah.
They will do the job just fine. They're just a little bit more finicky and not as completely idiot-proof like fuel injection is. Yeah. That's sweet, though.
Yeah. I'd give that one like an 8 or a 9 out of 10.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. That's really cool. Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, let's see the next one.
Our next bike is Dirt Bike. $2,500 in Leander.
Ooh, local.
Yeah. So this is let's see here. It is a 2003 YZ 450F Supermoto.
It's a 450. So for a lot of you guys that may not know, so there's two ways of kind of going about supermoto life. You can either take a dual sport and convert it into a supermoto, which is an easy route. You take a DRZ and turn it into a supermoto. Suzuki will also sell you a DRZ as a supermoto. You can take a WR250, turn it into a sumo. Super easy. Those bikes are bulletproof, rock solid. There's also, if you want to play life on hard mode, you can take a race replica like motocross bike like this 450 here and turn it into a supermoto and go through the whole process of getting it road legal and doing all of that. Way harder to do that. The bikes are not really designed to be ran in this way, like for long periods of time, on highways and just keeping the throttle open like that. They're designed to be ran for a couple of hours on a track and then turned off and maintained, and the valves need to be adjusted and checked over and over again. So if you're thinking about getting a 450, they rip. They make a lot of power, but I think they're so finicky to own as an everyday bike that I personally wouldn't own a 450 Supermoto.
So that means that this is a conversion. I actually don't know about the 450 life.
Yeah, it's a conversion, right? Because if you take a 450 that's a motocross bike and it has nothing on it to be road legal, so you got to do turn signals, you got to do headlights, you got to do the plates, you got to do the lights, you got to do road legal tires, you have to swap to wheels that work for the road.
Yep.
There's all kinds of stuff you have to do, and not only the fact it's like like I said, the motor is so hopped up that you're gonna be checking valves all the time. It's so annoying.
But,
yeah.
I mean, it's in pretty clean spec, honestly. I mean, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's in better shape than my DRZ was when I bought it.
Yeah, it looks like a decently done up sumo, honestly, for all things, you know?
The back tire's just as bald as mine was. But, I mean, it's... Sure. I mean, for $2,500, I probably wouldn't because it's a project, and all projects are inherently a pain in the ass. Ask me how I know.
Yeah. The rescue dog DRZ.
Yeah, sitting in the back with the...
Languishing.
Yep. God, I want to ride
Taking
that
up
bike
space
so
in the
bad.
office. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to ride that bike so bad.
Yeah. Let's see if there's anything wrong with it or weird about it.
It takes a man to start it, so please don't show up with stick legs expecting to be able to kick it off.
Yeah, it's a Kickstarter, yeah. That's great. I love this one. The first line, actually. It belongs to my son with a U. So it belongs to the sun, which, yeah, it's a Mayan God of a bike. So he lost interest in it. Super fast bike with lots of mods for performance. You need to know what you're looking for in the pictures because I can't answer a lot of questions. I just don't know much about it. It has a clean title, ready to ride and go and no issues. Not a beginner's bike. Yes, very much not a beginner's bike. You might look at something like a WR450 and be like, oh, like, 450cc, like, pretty lightweight. This should be a good beginner bike. No. And if you have a buddy who has a WR450 and will let you take a rip on one, ride it around the parking lot and see why it's not a beginner bike. These things are horrifying to ride.
The bike was street legal when we bought it, but it was, but we only transferred the title and didn't register it for the street again. Yeah, so a little bit of advice from me to you about titles here is if you get there and you see that the title is written in black pen and then they have it, the title is now officially like in their name, it has their name on it, printed out on the front of the title, that means it's good. If you don't see that, that means when you go to transfer it, they never actually finished the transfer. Writing on the title does not mean you transferred the title.
No.
And I had to go get, for my DRZ, a bonded title, which means that for 3 years I have to have the words bonded on my title, which they say it doesn't affect resale value, but it totally does. You cannot sell a bike that's bonded for the same price as one that's not.
Yeah.
So we really need to look at a title, especially when they say it in the ad, because that means there's some hokiness. And it costs you an extra couple $100 to get it done. I had to pay like $150 for the bonding, and then there were some extra fees that go in when you pay the state for it. Mm-hmm. It's a nickel and dime kind of situation. And for a conversion, it's just not worth dealing with the headache.
Yeah. I think if you wanted to pick this thing up as a goof around bike or maybe a project, maybe you want to convert it back into a dirt bike because you hate yourself or something, that could be cool. But yeah, I think it just is more headache than it's worth for this 450. So for me, a pass for sure.
Yep. Solid pass.
Yeah.
Now our last one. This should go quickly.
Oh yeah, baby. Is that a Jazzy? Is that a Jazzy model? What are we looking at here?
This is a if it will load, thank you.
Look at that beauty. My God.
It is a Pride, not a Jazzy.
A Pride, excuse me. Pristine and clean. Look at that. No gooch juice. Not a spot on it. Sparkling like the day it was bought new. Look at that.
That is a primo mobility scooter right there.
Grandma went off to an early grave, and now my loss is your gain, baby.
You were saying we should go pick up a mobility scooter.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a mobility scooter battle. $400. Where is this?
$400. This is a mobility scooter somewhere around Austin.
This is Austin. This is local.
Yep,
Oh,
this is local.
That's the 620 bridge, right?
Yup. Ranch Road 620 out by Lake Travis. So we could go get this mobility scooter.
We could go get it.
Go-Go Elite.
It is a Go-Go Elite.
It is a Go-Go Elite electric scooter, like new, super clean, works great, comes with a charger.
Great for indoors and out. You're goddamn right it is. Take off some sweet jumps. $400 is cheap for that, man. Honestly, I've seen, like I said, I've become a bit of a mobility scooter connoisseur, but these go for like 15, and like most other places I've seen this clean, so it's actually a good price for it. I feel like we gotta get one of these for the shop.
Just to have.
Just to have. It's $400, whatever. That'd be so fun.
Hey, it's out by Lake Travis. You want to go check it out this weekend?
We could go check it out. Yeah. I'll skip out on my track days and go buy a mobility scooter.
Is this the big red surprise that's coming on May 15th?
That would have been funny if I had done that reveal instead, with the same level of effort I put into that video with all the cinematics. Oh,
There's
God.
still time.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, we got to do some sort of challenge series with the mobility scooter. We got to get like 2 of them and then figure something out. So if you guys have any comments below of what you'd like to see of a mobility scooter challenge series, let me know, because I am so down to have fun with that. And that sounds great. I would have so much fun with that. But I think that wraps us up for today, right?
Yep, that is the last bike.
So thanks so much if you stuck around to the end here. I do appreciate you. And yeah, if you want to join up on our call-in section, hit the link down below and go to yammynoob.co and hit up our Discord server and join there. You can also go to yammynoobmerch.com and support there as well. But we will catch you on the next one. See you later. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.